Welcome back to Online Darts, everyone. We are here in the wonderful Prince of Wales in Ilkeston, our spiritual home. Somewhere I've been since the Live Lounge Live, but it's great to come back. Mace, how's tricks?
Yeah, really good. Been really busy. Got back late from the Masters, so back to the grind of owning a pub and trying to help Charlotte out a little bit because she's been bang busy. I've been away since last Tuesday, did the dart show for the PDC, Wednesday did the qualifiers, Thursday the start of the really ordinary Winmar World Masters. Yeah, take it back how it was. And then just been doing lots of filming, lots of Zoom calls, lots of radio stuff. People all around the world fascinated by the all new combination of me, Wayne, Webby, Wills, Dan, and Wayne. Yeah, so it's and of course the new Winmar products. But I don't work for Winmar, but I've been friends with them probably since the 90s, early 90s. And I was fascinated by the all-new board, which unfortunately isn't here yet, because I'd love to have shown the viewers what it's all about and why it's so revolutionary.
Yeah, look, let's try and do this in some kind of chronological order. Luke Littler created history at the World Championships, first person to go back-to-back for a decade, and in truth, he didn't really break a sweat, did he?
No, he's just got this canny ability to just absorb pressure and then build with it. You know, I love the phrase "pressure makes diamonds," and it can sometimes make dust, and that was what that final was about. One of them turned out to be a diamond, and poor old Van Veen it could have been different. He'd have took that second set. Quite possibly, we go back to the Humphreys Littler final.
Dart for 5-2.
Double two, yeah, that goes in. Do we have a different game? He was brilliant from start to finish, and like I say, he's in a very unique club, and in less than 12 months' time, he could be in an even uniquer club because only two players have won back to back the three-peat. Of course, that being Taylor and the great Eric Bristow in 84, 85, 86. He actually nearly did it twice. And he would still be a teenager.
It's mad, isn't it?
It was an amazing tournament. Really, really good. And when we spoke briefly before the final, it was hard. You know, I know I pissed people off with my stats and everything else, but incredibly, a dartboard is a culmination of numbers that gives us numbers which are relevant because 99.9% of the time they will stack up. And I thought Van Veen was brilliant. I think he's made huge strides in the last 6 months, becoming a major champion, winning the Europeans, and then making the final of the Worlds whilst being the back-to-back World Youth Champion. So, no negatives for me. Great stories. I feared it would be diluted. We've seen it in the past, but I thought all the qualifiers sort of, stood up. David Munya was remarkable. A great story. And that's what sport should be. It should be all about great stories.
I'm looking forward to seeing next year's Worlds as well. And the Great Hall will say they're going to do it all. And just a couple of bits that I'm worried about is the draft and being cold in there. So I'm interested. Look, the PDC team that do all this is incredible. They will have worked something out. And
there's a lot of building work going on directly after the Masters in preparation for it.
I think they're going to build some sort of inner shell, perhaps.
Exactly what you were concerned about. That will now be sectioned off.
Yeah.
The hospitality will now be over 2 floors. There's a new piece being built which will allow the flow of people coming in and going out, because that's the issue they've got. It was, I tell you, they work incredibly hard to get the 3,500 in and out, and clean it in sometimes an hour and a half. So with probably 5, maybe 5,500 people, I think that's the kind of number that's been batted about. They'll do it right, mate.
100%.
They're just
get it done, they.
Yeah, they and when there is problems, they find a way. They find a solution quicker than most because they have got a great team. And I can't wait. They're so historic, that Great Hall. Of course, dating all the way back to the News of the World.
Is that the first time darts will be in there since the News of the World?
Yep.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, all they ever did in the hall that we're currently in was sort of turn it around, didn't they? They made it.
Yeah, the stage used to be wide instead of narrow.
Narrow. I'm super excited. And listen, Paddy Power, they throw a fortune at that event, and they create atmosphere. They create fun in that fans village, which will now, of course, go in.
Yeah.
And everyone's worried about the size of that, but if you take out all the seating and everything
there's
else,
a lot more room
there's
than
a
what
lot
you
more
see,
room,
yeah.
and all the catering stuff and merchandise will be around the outside. And then basically what I do in terms of beat the pro and then all the other things that the fans can have a look at, that will go on in the middle of the building. I can't wait. And you imagine that stained glass window that is round, looks a bit like a dartboard. They will turn it into a dartboard, I can guarantee it.
That most popular bang on the door. Look, the Premier League picks, it caused some controversy, and by all accounts, it was a very late call as to who got in. First of all, did they get it right?
Did they get it wrong? It's one of those.
Yeah.
It's if they would have, if they'd have done it the other way around, there'd have been cries for Bunty to be in. If they didn't do it, because people love to moan.
Yeah.
Dan was bang on the live lounge on Monday night. People just love to moan because they got nothing else to do. Just use that energy to be more positive. It's darts. It's 8 great dart players. Is there other players that could have added to it? Of course there is, but there's only 8. Yeah. We've been crying out for a 12-man field. That solves all the issues, but then people would still moan, oh, why want Ian? It just is what it is. Enjoy the darts. It's 8 of the finest players. Do I think certain players may struggle? Absolutely, and one of them we'll talk about in a minute. It doesn't affect my life, so I'm not going to get too emotionally invested in it. Will we be watching? Will we have it on in here on Thursday night? Absolutely we will, and we'll enjoy every bloody minute of it. Will I go to Nottingham? Probably. Will I enjoy it? Absolutely I will. Stop moaning about shit that don't matter. It's 8 great dart players. It's a fabulous event with incredible history. And our opening night, we get the repeat of the World Final, which I'm hoping it will be a bit closer than the World Final itself. And I should imagine it will be because, there's a couple whose form's questionable, but listen, they got time to put it right.
Look, off of that goes into the 2 World Series events, which links to what we're going to talk about in a minute as well. First of all, we've done Bahrain. We know what's there. New venue. Looked beautiful. Yeah. What was your first thoughts on the Saudi event?
Remarkable. Don't tell me dart players are piss cans when they can turn up and play like that.
100%.
On green tea or coffee or whatever they were drinking out there, or water. Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. And listen, it's baby steps. Everything starts from somewhere. As a business, if Matchroom didn't accept the investment and take I used to end up going to Eastbourne.
I played there. I remember Eastbourne.
And they're going to Riyadh, Riyadh, and Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain, and traveling the world, New Zealand, Australia, New York, Madison Square Garden. I just don't get what everybody's problem is. Is it going to be like here? No. Is it different? Yes. So what? Why do you care about who's watching it? When I watch sport, like when I watch boxing, right? I don't understand this. Oh, no atmosphere. I don't really care. If you don't like what you're hearing, turn the volume off. That's what you got a mute button. It's not compulsory you listen to it or worry about who. I'm worried about the action. When I watch football, I don't care who the fans are or what's going on. I'm just watching the sport. And I don't understand this obsession with just finding something to fucking moan about. Like, chill out.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Like, it's great sport. The darts were fabulous. What would I do with Bahrain? I think Bahrain could be the ultimate expats weekend away. All the ones that live in the far, in that part of the world, in the Gulf.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of parts of that, of course, which are completely dry, as it was where the lads went in Riyadh. And I think it'd be brilliant. And usually there seem to be more people at the back of shot than there was at the front of shot, but that's where they wanted to sit. We don't have a right to go, all right, everybody sit at the front. Yeah. I mean, would it look better? Would it look better? Probably. Would it have been nicer for the players? Definitely, because they like playing in a bit of an atmosphere. But this, of course, in Bahrain was a new venue, and it was probably a little bit too big, but who cares?
They'll get there in the end. They'll fit it in the end.
Did it affect the darts? No. Was the darts great? Yes. Did the players get paid? Yes. Were the people who spent the money to have the players there happy? Yes. Did it do good numbers on television? Yes. What else is there to moan about?
No, I'm with you. And let's do the players side of it first of all.
Yeah.
Good signs for MVG heading in towards this.
Picking up another non-ranked title, but
a final,
same players involved.
Final as well.
Yep.
The action looks
better.
A
Rhythm
lot
looks better.
Are you excited for this version of MVG that we're potentially going to get this year?
Yeah, I would. After the Worlds, I was a little concerned for him going into the Premier League. Obviously, we knew he was in the Premier League, of how he would cope with the intensity of week in, week out. But listen, he understands that. He doesn't need my clarification on anything. But just the fact that he looked switched on, he looked bright-eyed. And like you say, there was plenty of rhythm. The release was smooth. He was hitting some mighty big numbers. I should imagine maybe not too long ago, he was thinking, oh God, 16 weeks, possibly 17, hopefully 17. But I think now he'll be buzzing. He'll be desperately disappointed with the way he played at the Masters, which we'll talk about in a moment. But that can happen. That sort of crept into his game. But it's not meant that he's been bogged down by it. It is what it is. And they turn up next week and average 105. There's no second guessing with Michael right now. But ultimately, he will feed off the fact that he's won an event with all the great players in it right now, and he made the final of another. Again, what's not to like?
No, I completely agree. And the same for Gerwyn Price, looking in really good shape right now. Look, he'll be gutted that he's lost again to Littler in the manner that he has. However, the signs there that I think we're going to get a really good year from the Iceman.
Yeah, listen, we spoke about it, and I don't know why people can't see what 99% of the darting media can see, but they can. You know, well, why is it a Gerwyn Price loving? It's not. It's acknowledging
how well he's playing.
That's my job. That's my job, to make people, those that don't watch it as extensively as we do, or be involved in it as much as we do. That's why we think he's close to picking one up. We thought it last year. We said at the beginning of the year we thought he was going to run Littler close in a few events and maybe pick up a title or two. He very nearly did. Sorry.
We saw glimmers of the new production in Saudi Arabia and
I love
Bahrain.
The rings,
the ring walk on again. I loved visually incredible.
Yeah, and I don't mind that. I mean, we had a situation again. We'll talk on the Masters where the amount of time taken up by those walk-ons is becoming. It's putting the
pressure on the broadcast.
Pressure on the broadcaster and the production, because we're then not getting those windows to do other things or feature interviews that we may have done with players. So I love that. So, and I know it's part and parcel, and you know you wouldn't take it away from certain events, but I'd certainly take them away from others, the walk-ons, because I mean the players are told, and I understand PDC would be concerned that the fans would be upset if they just walk past them, right?
Yeah.
But they're not. They're still going to high-five them.
Yeah.
It's just the signing, because...
The signing and the selfies.
And it, you know, we had... What did we have? 16 walk-ons that took over 20 minutes or 21 minutes or something.
Yeah.
That's a match. And that's why you can end up overrunning, and then, you know, you either do too much, or they're going through it too fast. Well, they're straight on to another game. There's no happy medium with it. So yeah, I liked it. I mean, I'd love to see that ring effect at the match play. Remember when we used to walk through the middle?
Yeah.
Because there's that big stairwell there. They could come down the stairwell into the ring walk on, and then into a normal walk on. I think it was, credit to them. I thought it looked fab.
No, I'm with you. And then obviously, let's go to the Masters, because it's fresh in everyone's mind. Before we talk about the action, let's do the production side of it. A fresh, new look for ranked darts on ITV. First of all, getting to the venue on the Thursday. What was that buzz like amongst you all?
Yeah, well, I went on the Wednesday to do the qualifiers, which were fabulous, and I got to see a little, because it's in that actual room. Yeah. But I seen the stage set up, and I thought, I like that. Andy Bolton would have loved it. You know, he'd have loved it. And then I was sort of talking to a few of the people that were going to be there and on the production, and just getting a feel. And I was like, this is good. If this is what I think it is, this is going to be epic. And then we all got there really early on Thursday. I've never done as much rehearsing as I've done for this event. And everybody, every cameraman, every sound engineer, every bit of talent, even sometimes down to the markers being there, it literally, no stone was left unturned. And I've you do a certain amount of rehearsals. It's not my first rodeo. I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing. The production executive was like, I don't care if you know what you're doing.
We're not getting this wrong.
We're not getting, yeah, exactly. I want everybody on point. And we didn't rehearse it once. We didn't necessarily rehearse a script.
Yeah.
Because we weren't given a script. We were given the schedule, who's on.
What time you got to fill and time.
Yeah, exactly. But more about position, speed in between the shots, the visuals, where they're going to shoot it from. It was incredible, and I think the result was incredible. For me, it was some of the best stuff I've ever seen in darts. Sky did a great thing with Dan a couple of years ago where they used an interactive
the Sky
screen.
Pad type thing,
yeah, like they're using the football. I thought that was brilliant as well, but for whatever reason, and again, you've got some time constraints as well, so a lot of the stuff that you want to do, you can't do. But yeah, listen, if it's not better than Sky, I think it's certainly up there with them now. And I think the way we did it different, we're not reinventing the wheel, but we did it different. I think visually it was attractive to the viewers because it was done in a way that made them feel like they were part of it. And we were explaining, not everybody knows everything about darts. Not everybody has watched it from 7 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 12:45 or whatever. Some people are just coming home from work. Some people are just coming home from being out. And we then don't mention what's happened.
Yeah. How fluid it was as well, because you do a bit with Pete and Wayne, and then they go over to that massive great big screen with Dan and Webby, and then they'd come back round, and then Webby was in with you,
so
and it was so fluid.
The two that weren't with Webby, we could then bounce off of him and say, well, yeah, I see what you're saying, or not, and that's what we're there to do. We're there to hopefully make it a memorable experience for. I've never done something with so much interaction with the live crowd as well, but I've also never had so much feedback, positive, by the way, from people that are in and around the TV industry of how it made them feel part of the program, of the broadcast, and credit to the cameramen and the sound and of course the producers.
What I liked as well,
and the director,
like the geeky stuff. I know we spoke about this on the live lounge, that the jib camera had gone. It was on a sky rail, and
that opened up that whole area as well.
But that on that sky track, they could use that camera in any position in the arena. They could get a shot from anywhere. And the reason they took that, for one, the producer wanted more sort of visual shots, but also different shots that you can get from the darts going through the air and the darts going in the board, and also the walk-on. Because that was incredible. The LED floor.
LED floor. I mean that's right up there with the kind of stuff they do for the boxing. And I think with what Matchroom have done in terms of being in Riyadh and the amount of money being thrown at their productions for the boxing, I think whoever was working on it has gone, right, we could do something with darts with this. And they did it brilliantly. Fair play.
The big talking point. But a lot of people said it would never happen. You couldn't work together. Different broadcasters. However, you and Wayne working together for the first time, and let's be fair, everyone bloody loved it. How did you enjoy it as well?
Listen, you obviously you're at every event, so we spend most of our time together in either the media areas, the green rooms. And as you've seen probably for as long as you've been doing it, me and Wayne are always having a laugh and taking a piss out of each other. And as I do with Webby, but I've worked with Webby, of course, worked with Dan, obviously worked with Mark Wilson on European tours and radio. Yeah. And I think because, I've known Wayne for over 30 years. And I think and obviously we travelled together for probably near on 20 years. I think people took things too far, with the back and forth on socials.
Yeah.
But as you know, that's the way we would talk to each other in real life.
100%.
So yeah, and I wasn't sure because Wayne has his style, which some people like, some people don't. I have my own style, which some people like, some people don't. Mark Wilson is a broadcaster, so he has his style. Dan is just
Dan.
Dan. I mean, he is incredible. The stuff he does is unbelievable. How people cannot like his enthusiasm and passion, which just comes out. Me and Wayne and Webby are watching him just laughing our head off at him because none of us could do that shit. Like,
No.
There's no script. He just walks around having a chat to himself, stands there in front of the camera, give him a microphone, and he comes out of it. The guy's a genius. He is a genius. All right, he's a bit, but I like that.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, he loves this sport more than anybody in the world, and honestly, I think I'm reasonably knowledgeable. But we'll sit down and we'll be doing some stats and looking for some patterns going into a match, and you go, "Did you know?" And I go, "Oh no," you know, and then I'll sort of go, "Yeah, but Dan, did you?" "Yeah, it's Shane Burgess, 1994. I go, "Fuck, no point."
Either that or in the Baltic Sea Open in round 2.
Exactly.
Which is
great. Darts is his life, right? That's his life, and it shows because he's bang on. I thought Webby was brilliant. I thought Mark Wilson brought a calmness and a structure in comms where he wouldn't let you get too far off the tangent. And then working with Wayne, it was literally like what we do when, we're sat in the press room just watching a game from the Match Play or the Worlds or wherever else, some event, and we're just going, "I'm not sure that was the right kind of shot. What's he doing there?" And we just chat and we have a laugh and we go back and forth. And I think that worked perfectly in comms. Am I surprised? Absolutely not. Am I surprised at the love? Absolutely I am, because like I said, we're divisive characters. We have different ways of going about things, and like I say, it's Marmite, innit? The only people I give a shit who like me is the people who pay my wages. Outside of that, honestly, and I worry about my peers, people I work with, the people I respect within the broadcasting industry, and every one of them have reached out to me over the course of the tournament and gone, "You and Wayne are on a different level, mate."
Yeah.
And what can you say? I just sort of, thanks to Wayne, thanks to the Matchroom and PDC for having the stones to stick us in together, because that is the most fun I've ever had at any tournament. It was incredible.
Were you nervous going into, you've been in production a long time, but were you nervous going in there for the first time with this new...
Yeah, I was under it a little bit. I'm working with some serious broadcasters here, some people who carry a lot of weight in the world of darts. So at times did I try a little bit too hard? Probably, but there you go. That's it. If you don't care, it don't matter. And this sport matters to me. The players matter to me. What we produce matters to me. I've been given a huge opportunity to, I knew all this was happening, right?
Yeah.
So for one, I was working with people that I know from being in the industry did my first comms in the late 90s. Well, actually, my first bit of TV in the mid-90s, 95, 96. So yeah, I felt there was I had a bit of responsibility. I had to hold my corner at times, but that added to that made me sharp, I think. Have I got more to learn? Absolutely. I hardly even went to school, mate. For me, it's hard, and everything else that's wrong with my brain makes it even harder at times because I just can't get it out. But that's it. It's I'm the same as a lot of people who sat watching it, and it was the, like I said, best time I've had doing a broadcast. I loved every minute of it. It was educating. It was nerve-wracking. It was exciting. And that's before we even go, so even before a dart's thrown. I mean, and that part of it, that's the beauty. We're working with elite level sportsmen who are giving us the opportunity to talk about the brilliance that they're producing.
All along with the production, the graphics, the score graphic is divisive. The graphics on screen all look great as well. It was a complete fresh look from start to finish. It was like literally nothing was taken over from the old.
No, and who knew that an oblong graphic with numbers on would create such drama? I mean, is it up there?
It is up there, yeah.
Now, I'll give you an explainer, right? This ring is the percentage of the leg left, right? It's that's the percentage. So the 140 offers took so many percent off of the leg. That's how many sets they've won, which you won't see, of course, in leg play. You just see legs. And that tells you what it's the first two. That there indicates who has the throw. And then, of course, we'll have graphics added. So percentage on doubles, or 1/8 is it, or 1/4 is it, or if someone's gone 15-14, 15-13, they'll produce a graphic for that. You know, if it was best of 5 leg set play, they go, in this set, these are the 5 winning legs if it's gone 5 legs. That's what's left. Double 14, he wants double 18. Like, when it's in red, that's Humphreys. When it's in red and Littler's at the hockey, that's... I don't understand what anybody's issue with...
Yeah.
It is so self-explanatory. And if people go, it's too small, all right, I tell you what we'll do, we'll just put it up over there. We'll put it over the balls, so when they use a bullseye cover shot, you can't see it. If you're watching it on your phone, that's not my fault. But then don't moan about us giving you all the information because you don't know what's left or what score is or whose throw it is. That's why we do it, because the amount of feedback I've had since working on the radio, some I've never really talked about before because I didn't know whether I should. But the amount of people that are visually impaired or partially sighted or actually blind, including a chap who took part in a very famous dancing show who reached out to me, and he loved the coverage we produced on the radio because they can't see it.
Yeah.
And darts is probably one of the only sports that you can follow that's quick enough to get engaged with, that they can enjoy. So of course you've also got to be aware of people like that at home. And I honestly, the absolute rage over it, and the rage over Lou Dog. What is wrong with people? Remember this, be kind. You know, it's like, wow. Like, I remember when John McDonnell was a photographer and did boxing for the first time. Do you think he was like Michael Buffer? Absolutely not. I remember when Phil Jones first did it for the WDC. You know, and then when he left, they thought he was irreplaceable. And then when John McDonnell come along, everyone was going, he's rubbish, him. And none of them were industry experts. You know, they've not come from MC University or whatever. And Lou Dog's been in and around the sport for years, and he's got his own issues as well, which he battles with. So everybody piling in, it ain't going to make him better. But I tell you what, I remember him doing UK Open. Or was it a Players' Championship he did first?
He did. He was the warm-up act, or the MC
Stage 2.
On stage 2.
Yeah. Well, we went over and watched him because we've been mates with him for years. You look at that version of him and look at the version of him from this weekend, and then you look at this version of him from this weekend and look at him at the Worlds, and then judge him on that. You know, or apply for the job. There you go. I'll set up something in the middle of the country, and you can all come and have a go and show us how amazing you are at it. It's just, I just don't understand. It's almost like we live in a world now where people aren't happy unless they're not happy. Like,
100%.
Chill out. I couldn't, you know, it's mind-blowing. But, yeah, fair play to him, because if you knew him and knew what he goes through, you probably think twice before having a little pile-in, because that's what people do.
Yeah.
You know, one person, oh, it's shit. Yeah, of course it is, because they haven't got the capacity to come up with their own valid opinion or be constructive. You know, maybe try being constructive. It's an incredibly hard job, one that I certainly even wouldn't attempt, never mind like think about.
Well, a couple of bits off of that before we move on. One, the score graphic. I love how interactive it is. The way that pops up at the top and you get different, not the same stats.
Correct.
And
you will notice when I talk about it or another commentator talk about it,
comes up.
Guess what? It comes up.
And I love how interactive it is. It's not just the the rectangles that don't give you anything.
Exactly.
This is interactive, it's fluent.
Correct.
And it's visually superb.
It is.
And on Ludog, when he went solo for the first time at the World Grand Prix, was he bad? Yes, he says it himself when he listens back. However, there has been massive improvement every time he's taken to the stage.
Huge. And he's getting more and more confident. He's getting more and more feedback. The guy's got a voice coach and he's constantly picking the brains of Johnny McDonald. He's probably thinking, my God, I'm working harder now. But listen, John McDonald was always going to be incredibly hard to replace because he'd been doing it so long. He was part of the furniture. Everybody likes things being just so and not changed. Like that really complicated thing there, the thing with the numbers. I mean, it's so complicated. And it can be small because most people now have huge televisions. So you don't, it's like you don't need this real sort of tight shot anymore because you don't need to. It's not like people are watching it on little black and white TVs anymore. If you watch it on your phone or your tablet, that's what we're there for. We'll tell you what's going on. You don't need to squint at a little graphic to worry about what's going on. That's what we do. And again, too much waffle. Just to let you know, right? When a match finishes, the second semi-final, PDC rules, not broadcaster rules, not production rules, once they have walked off that stage, it cannot be before 20 minutes because that gives that player a chance just to wind down, just to relax for a minute, go away, cool down, have a bit of practice and come back and take on the guy that's had an hour off. That's what that 20-minute fill is. If you don't want to watch it, go on YouTube and watch something else.
Then come back when the dark
come back. But during that 20-minute window, that's our opportunity to either do a feature, explain how they've got there, why we think who's going to win the final, and hopefully give you a build-up to why these two guys, or girls, or both, have got to this point. And that's that. Oh, and talking of girls, Bo was unbelievable in the qualifiers. And she'll count herself a bit unlucky because Suits was unreal against her. And then in the match to get through, had an absolute mare.
We'll come on to Bo because I'm excited for this one. The first time we've seen the new board, the Winmore Blade X, visually stunning board.
Yeah. And again, look at the holes in it. Listen, they produce a board, right, that's not designed to have fishhooks thrown at it, right? I mean, I cannot get over the stupidity, right? That board is designed for a normal point to go in it because it's that good. You don't need them aggressive points. It's not like the old boards where they were falling out and not staying in, too hard, too soft. This thing has had thousands of hours of R&R research and development on it, right? It is stunning, right? Look at the averages that have been produced since they used them.
Massive.
Yeah. The players like them. I speak to the players. I spoke to the players. What do you like? It's just visually. It just ding. He said that's 60, and all the colours in the trebles are vibrant. Makes you want to
hit it.
Yeah. And the proof's in the pudding. I thought the tournament was incredible. Everybody threw everything at Littler, and it wasn't enough. From De Decker at
double squat, double 11.
Double 11 on the 142.
Gezzy darted tops on the 117.
Yeah, and then Humphreys just throwing the kitchen sink out of him. It was just back and forth, and I actually didn't think Gezzy win unless it went the way it did, but the other way around. Gezzy leading, Luke pegging him back, Gezzy leading, him pegging him back. So credit to Gezzy, and we're not surprised because we've seen elements of this now for quite a while.
100%.
We're just in and around an era at the moment where you have to find something really, really special, or the two Lukes who look. They don't look. They're not. Neither of them are doing things that we've not seen before. They're just doing it for sustained periods and seem to hold the pressure better than anybody else. And you need an element of good fortune. Luke was a little bit fortunate. The double 11 doesn't go in. I mean, it was off a big shot, but still, you need him to miss for you to win.
Yeah.
And the same could be said for Gedwin Price. He had a dart there, and again, that was a bonkers game in terms of standard and level. But that's the way it is, you know. You can't call him lucky because he's not lucky. He's just got a bit of good fortune that it's not gone in when another day it could go in.
Did Luke and Luke also highlight how far away they are from the rest when they're on?
No, because I thought someone like Luke Woodhouse, who's ranked 24, 2?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Produced an average in excess of 108, and then, you know, he backed that up with a unreal performance against Humphreys, who was blowing him away and then couldn't get anywhere near him. Danny Noppert at times looks just irresistible. You know, there's a few players you've got to be concerned about. Rob Crosses, Daryl Gurney,
Chisnell,
Chizzy. I thought Wadey played lovely in spells as well. You know, that performance against Gian van Veen, 115.62, 107, 115, 115 of his own. I mean, that was 4 sets of absolute brilliance. That 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0.
Yeah.
The worst set in that combination of 4 was 107. And that was from 107.36 from Wadey. So that sort of shows you where his ceiling's at right now. I think he's playing fabulous, and I think if he could have just found something at the back end of the year. But there's a lot of players under pressure, and for that reason, I think that's where they had relatively poor World Championships, because the Premier League was looming, and you know, a fair few of them were twitching over that, and rightly so. It's a big thing for them. People, I mean, not only the prize money available, it's the exposure, and that exposure leads to more sponsorship opportunities, more person appearances, and it culminates in life-changing money for a lot of the guys, and a lot of them feel like it's the pinnacle to be in the Premier League.
100% they do. Some interesting bits off of that, and players in form is an interesting one. Are you concerned that we're going to potentially lose some very established household names at the end of this year, form they're in right now?
I want you to explain to me, the last little gripe was top 16 are protected. I don't think I've ever seen so much shifting in terms of ever. Pre-Worlds as well.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear this bullshit. Oh no, it's because there's so much money. Of course that's going to have an effect. It's the World Championships. It should. Do I like the ranking system? Absolutely not. Right? Do I know how to improve it? Absolutely not. I wish I did. But it is what it is. But yeah, I think we're having a slight change of the guard, and that's inevitable. There's a lot of players who are not old. 50 odd ain't old anymore. But Father Time waits for no man, mate. And that, you know, at some point your eyes will start to go a bit, your enthusiasm will start to go off a bit, your commitment, your dedication, your priorities, everything changes. And yeah, it's the next year or two is going to be tough. I fear for a lot of players. Can they turn it around? Can they find something? Absolutely. You don't win majors or become multiple major winners and top 8 players by accident. That does not happen, because it's too long a ranking window. It's a 2-year window. You know, it's a bit like the longevity case. You know, Bristow at his absolute optimum was probably 6, maybe 7, 8 years at a push. Does that deflect? We can't constantly compare to Phil. Do I still think Phil is the greatest of all time? Yes. And we've done this to death. The numbers on inferior equipment, with less tournaments, with did he have and this nonsense, he only won all that because the rest of us were shit, is hilarious. Look at his last match play and look at the lineup.
Yeah.
And look who he beat en route. He didn't just beat, buried.
Dismantled, yeah.
Would it be harder for him now? Who knows? Because when Barneveld come along, he went zoom. When Michael come along, he went zoom. Would he have done it now if these lot were around? Probably. Eric did it in his time. You know, when Bob Anderson came along and found another level, he found another one, albeit briefly, but you can't control psychological injuries in the fact that he had dialysis and had it to an extent that meant he just wasn't effective. That makes Van Veen's incredible rise to number 3 in the world. This is a kid that's got better with dialysis. Make sense, Barzy. And you know what it's like. You had it.
Yeah, 100%. It's horrid. What did you make of Luke Humphrey's comment afterwards?
Yeah, I think
he is the great. That he thinks that there is the greatest.
Yeah, he thinks.
Oh yeah, he didn't say he is. He said, "I think he's the greatest."
Correct.
What?
Well, I take his opinion more than Dave off of Facebook.
Yeah.
I can't question him. He's achieved more than I ever did. Get everything came close to. He plays darts at a level I got nowhere near. So yeah, that's his opinion, and I get why he thinks that.
Is there already a case that he's in the top 5 of all time already?
Oh God, yeah.
Already, only age of 19, that he's already in that.
Well, listen. Say he decided to win the Worlds this year. Well, the next World Championships. So that's a final, 3 on the spin. He's won everything except the Europeans, which he'll probably win this year. But say he does go and win the Europeans and then goes, do you know what? I'm retiring. Where'd you put him in the all-time list? So he hasn't retired because he's got an injury. He hasn't retired because he can't play anymore. He said, you know what? That'll do me. Thanks very much. Where'd you put him? Don't worry about 16 world titles. Don't worry about 16 world match plays. Don't worry about 5 world titles. Don't worry about Michael's 3.
It's definitely top 3. It's just which way round that you have them.
Yeah.
The 3
and your era that you grew up in.
The 3 would be MVG, Taylor, Littler, and it's then personal preference which way round that you put them.
And if you put all them 3 in a hat and you pull them out, right, you play him, play him. I reckon if they played 100 matches, they'd each win 33 points.
So, yeah, I agree. We're talking.
Listen, Taylor's averages still stack up. They do, right? The younger players, it's quite funny. It's like you speak to young football fans, they don't even know who Alan Shearer is, right? It's just, never mind all the other great players. I'm not a football man, but I'm using that as an example. So they think that Luke's reinvented the wheel. No one's ever done what he's done on a dartboard. Even if you go, I just because of this white noise about all like who's the greatest and that, I just was like just perusing over some of Taylor's stuff.
I agree. Those 3.
Listen, he beat me in a match play when I averaged over 100 through the entire game. Right, we played 23 legs. I won 7. He averaged over 112, and that's in 2002.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, that's 24 years of development, and he's still producing numbers that stack up to anything anybody's doing.
Yeah.
Did he have any incredible set in the Worlds? Yes, he did. Of course he did. That was remarkable. But Taylor used to do what he did all the time.
And plus, stats and data wasn't as readily available back then as what it is now.
Yeah, we don't know.
Dark Connect wasn't a thing,
exactly.
and so on.
Well, we didn't really record the numbers in the same way anyway.
Yeah,
it was, I can remember. It was funny. Luke said about winning a Premier League game with 125 average, which is 12 darters. I can remember when we were playing best of 9, watching me and Wayne, actually, of all, just a coincidence. We were up in Scotland playing in a Pro Tour event, and we were like, right, let's go and watch this kid. And he went, it was best of 9. He went 5 12s, and me and Wayne just looked at each other and went, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%.
So again, we're going back a generation, and again, like inferior equipment. So yeah, but he's doing it in a different way. It's like Priestley doesn't get the respect he deserves because he played in a certain way, which people's attention spans nowadays are just frazzled, right? Whether it be because of the internet, I'm not sure, but they're just frazzled. you know, they're watching the sport and typing. They're doing that on Facebook or Twitter or X or whatever it's called, or TikTok. They're doing that and they're watching sport, moaning about it while they're watching. They're not watching it. You know, we would sit there like that for hours, just mesmerised by Dennis. He was incredible. But yeah, I think we absorb information differently nowadays, and I think a lot of people feel like they got a comment to be relevant. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I get Humphries' point, and he knows better than anybody because he is one of the absolute elite.
100%.
And if you're acknowledging, hang on a minute, this kid's just unreal. But what I did like, I've got to get better. That's what he said.
I love it. I love his attitude.
You know what I think? He's the ultimate poster boy for me. Loses with grace, wins with grace.
Oh,
fabulous human being.
Completely. For me, he's the best ambassador the sport's ever had.
Correct.
What you touched on there about Dennis being disrespected is interesting because James Wade brought this up in.
Oh right, okay.
Not Dennis, but he said that the older generation.
Yeah, that aged well, James.
Yeah, but he was on about like Gary doesn't get the respect that he deserves for his career and so on, and he was like the media get hold of someone that isn't particularly that good, but then blow smoke up their bum and everyone gets hold of it. And it's interesting that players do think like that, like you've just said there, and James highlighted it at the weekend.
Yeah, I think the younger players are very approachable because they want that media attention, and because they're nice to you, you're nice to them.
Yeah,
it's not complicated. You know, I have as you know, there's certain people in those media rooms I could.
Well, I'm quite lucky. I think I'm the only one that you speak to.
Actually, there is only a couple of you. Because I don't like what they do. I don't like this clickbait culture and you've got to remember, people don't read stuff anymore.
Let's read the headline.
They read the headline and then comment.
Yeah.
And you're like, some of the stuff written about Luke. I'm like, and these people are allowed in the media room. I mean, that don't sit with me. And I don't think it'll sit with the PDC much longer. There was a time we needed media, especially print media. We no longer need print media. We've got our outlets, people like you and some of the other lads that do it, and have done it for a long time, including the company you work for, Live
Darts. Yeah, exactly. That's why I started.
I mean, exactly. So, and how long ago was that? I mean, I was doing stuff with you when I was still playing.
Correct, yeah. So I've known you 15 years now. So yeah.
So that's their outlets for the internet. And YouTube, and of course you put your stuff out on every platform. So we don't need the print media anymore, and we don't need the bullshit either. And it's nasty, it's spiteful, it can create problems. Which is why I made that comment many years ago. You do something about me, let's see how that works out for you.
100%.
Because I won't tolerate it. But the players have to, of course.
Yeah, and
I can't be cancelled.
I love that. Winmore, obviously we spoke about it earlier, but 10-year deal with the PDC. No. Right, in any sport...
Hang on, we've got to talk about the 20-year deal for Luke Littler.
I was going to come on...
That's football numbers, right? But yeah, a 10-year deal...
A decade...
is unheard of.
In sport, but in darts is like a decade of...
And rightly so. I speak and will promote any product that any manufacturer come up with, if it's any good, right? I've got loads of things. As you can imagine, I got a room there full of different dartboards by different manufacturers. So when I have the lads in, or I'm doing a bit of coaching, or we're doing a bit of darts filming and stuff like that, or if one of the PDPA coaches here wants to use one of the rooms, I go, right, I'm going to knock one of them boards up, tell me what you think of it. Yeah. I'll come out, I'll have a throw on it once it's at room temperature and everything else, and then I'll comment on it. If it's great, I'll say it's great. If I think they could improve it, I'll say it's not. There's not anything in it for me. I literally just love. I got a set of Van Veen darts up there. They're absolutely wonderful. As out the box as well, they're nice. But of course, I'll put my own stamp on them in terms of length of point to get my balance right with the stem and the flight and everything else. And once I got them up to speed, I'll have a little chat about those and sort of say, I love them. But I already do. I had one throw with them. I managed to sort of snare them. I don't want no, they weren't the one he uses anyway. The one he uses has got a much longer point.
Oh, he's pointing.
I couldn't throw them. Even I could make them stack. So yeah. Listen, the Winmore have always been certainly in boards, when they came out with the original blade boards, I can remember them coming out when I played at the Embassy and thinking, wow. You know, we were used to the staples and the round wires, and then when they come out with this system where it's forced into the board. So, you know, we had situations years ago where if you hit 3 darts across a 60 and you just pulled them out like that, it would close the treble 20 down. Or in fact, if you hit a 180, it would open it up for your opponent. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of the brand, huge fan of the board, and I love the 360 as well. Yeah. For me personally, that's perfect because you can imagine how many
10 rotations.
Yeah,
in a pub.
I got 7 dart teams in here. We have an academy in here some nights. We run tournaments on Thursday and satellites.
Yeah.
I'm going through boards like there's no tomorrow. But the fact that you can turn it and it visually looks exactly the same no matter where you turn it.
Yeah.
I love that. That is gonna because maybe it's me. I'm a bit OCD. I mean, that's a lovely board, and that's been up there. That's basically like a Blade 6 board.
Yeah, the Paddy Power one,
yeah. And that's been up there 6 weeks, 7. No, it'd be longer. 2 months.
Yeah.
It's just turned every day. But when we have actual matches or tournaments here, I gotta have it at the top.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But like you said, the new Littler deal as well, 10-year deal with Target
20 mil.
Well,
allegedly. Yeah, I mean, and that does. I mean, Target do an incredible global business, and they have a big impact as well in the soft tip world, don't they? Not something I know a lot about. But Gary Plummer, another guy who's been absolutely brilliant to me over the years. If they come out with a product and they go, "Do you want to try it?" I said, "Yeah, give us one." I said, "But if it ain't no good, I'll say." He said, very rarely do I have anything bad to say about any of their products. You know, I can't. You know, it's just one of those things. Some things I like, some things I don't. In the early stages of these one-piece flight and stem systems, I wasn't a fan because they were a bit too heavy and they were a bit too expensive and they didn't really last too long. In 10 years, that whole industry has changed. You know, I was probably certainly one of only 40 people I knew that were using them back in the day. Now everyone seems to have gone down that route and gone down that route for a reason. My main issue was I didn't like the big bulky briefcase to carry around with it. It's like carrying a suitcase everywhere. But they're again. I've done stuff with Harrows and I don't want to miss anybody out. Unicorn, yeah. God, yeah. I very nearly did a deal with Unicorn way back in the day, and we just couldn't meet in the middle anywhere, and it never happened. But again, their new dartboards are phenomenal because they sponsor Jamie Caven's Academy, I sponsor and Charlotte mentors at. And I had a sneak peek at the new board. It is lovely, and I've had a throw on it.
Nice.
Yeah. Might see some in here soon.
Sneak one in. Since the Worlds, obviously Dom Taylor's suspension is out, and there's been a lot made of it. I know you listened to the sit down that we did with Wazza. First of all, are you pleased that he's in? Well, he's out, obviously now out. But pleased that he went to rehab and started to get the treatment that he obviously needed.
Absolutely. What's paramount is health, and his mental health, and his physical health. And the mental health of his family and loved ones and everything else. Everything else really is not really. I'm not really worried about. He's lost his tour card. What more do you want? He's lost 25 grand. What more do you want? He's effectively banned from PDC darts for over a year. They've called it a 6-month suspension. But he can't play in anything PDC related because he doesn't have a tour card until the following January when he goes to the Q squad. And there's no guarantee he gets a card. No. So, what more what do they want from him? He's had to go through he'd have been mortified to have let Mac down. He'd have been mortified. I know his family. He'd have been mortified to have let his family down and his friends. And I think it was sensible. Fortunately, the powers that be have stepped in and paid for his rehab, which has gone very well. He is in recovery and will always be in recovery. And again, what happened to this Be Nice? You know, it's dreadful. I've been there.
Yeah.
Whether it be prescription drugs or non-prescription drugs. And my main concern from start to finish was his well-being. And I seen someone very close to him who was down at the weekend in Milton Keynes, and they're all very grateful that there wasn't a knee-jerk reaction to it. It was, you know, and again, you've got to understand the levels of what this was, which will be a chat for another day. But I think that's something I want to discuss when this is sort of died down, because I want to explain it so people will get it. But it's something that the UK Anti-Doping Agency have decided to go down the route of, that I think they will come unstuck with. But I don't want to... No. We've discussed it.
Yeah, I get that.
And I think that it will set a very dangerous precedence for all sports with regards to...
the in competition, at competition, recreational...
Yeah, and what's in their system, whether it's minuscule, because the amount of cocaine or whatever other drug you want to talk about, how much is left in their system and how long its half-life is within your body, to what amount of cocaine is in the cocaine. But that will come out, I'm sure. Because there's massive problems with boxing at the moment with that very same issue.
Yeah. I was going to say, I know that the issues in boxing are all over, because they speak about it quite readily. Yeah. They're wearing darts.
But I've not spoke to Dom directly, but obviously you can't. He was only allowed so many minutes phone call every day. Yeah. Which of course is family will come first, but I will catch up for him, and I don't have any. I think it's bonkers to hate on him and want him banned for life. Don't get me wrong, he gets caught again.
Well, I didn't realise until what was said that if he gets caught again, it is a life ban. You're done. Yeah. So if that isn't enough of a deterrent anyway for him, then I don't think anything ever will.
Yeah, I don't think you can't judge every case as one. There's loads of different circumstances, and and I mean, the world must be full of so many do-gooders that have never done anything wrong in their life. It's remarkable.
Yeah,
remarkable, fascinating.
Yeah, no, it is. It's weird, and obviously
I feel sorry for someone like Richie Burnett, who did dabble out of competition. And
the rules were different back then.
And I can understand his gripe, but now they've got, for now anyway. I think there will be. I think it will change again.
Interesting. You obviously saw Cammy at Milton Keynes as well in the qualifier. I know he's not spoken publicly, but I was interested to see how he threw because of but he actually threw decently well considering what he went for on that hand.
Yeah, and it must have took a lot for him to show his face, because again, he would have been mortified with his behaviour. Yeah. You know, he's a real nice fella who has had, he's had his issues over the years, and he works so hard, and it just shows you the pressure these guys are under, that he just completely lost his shit. And again, that's nothing to mock or nothing to make fun of. My God, he could have ended his career right there.
Yeah.
He could have tore through something. He could have lost a finger, and that would have been that, all because he mentally couldn't cope. But again, he's getting the help he's needed. The PDPA have stepped in. Again, the PDPA do so much, but they can't talk about it because of confidentiality.
Yeah.
But which is why I'm really pleased that, because we've been suggesting this for Alan for years, to do a monthly catch up with you. So it's all out there and people can see. And it was funny. He said he sent out an email to all the players the other day, and I seen him down at Milton Keynes, and I said, anybody replied? Nope.
No, look, we know that it's like that, and it's just the way it is. But when Cammy turned up, I've heard Ian White made him feel at ease.
Yeah.
First of all, like in the Ian White fashion, tongue in cheek, he was like, "I've in the lines. I put some bubble wrap under the table or something like that."
Yes,
like,
right.
made him feel like look, it doesn't matter, and he was okay after that. Like Ian, he made a complete joke of it. That I put some bubble wrap under the table and.
Yeah, give him a couple of boxing gloves just in case he some big ones though, some big 16 ounces. Yeah, listen, must have been hard for him, and like I said, he must have been mortified. He knows the players understand the responsibility. There's more kids' eyes on our sport now than ever before.
100%.
So everybody has a bit of a responsibility, certainly before 9 o'clock. And I was really worried for him. Apparently, he's sorting himself out, and he's a fabulous player. He's an asset to the sport when he's on it. He's incredible to watch. We don't have enough Scottish lads playing as it is, so I'm certainly glad he's back, and I wish him all the best in his well, it's not recovery, but
rehabilitation.
Yeah, managing the situation.
Q School was an interesting one. We've got some big names in, some big names out, and
wow, it was
brutal as always. Like Derek Coulson missing out by a leg and things like this, and it is brutal, isn't it?
Yeah. I just don't know why we have a challenge tour.
We've spoken about this a lot. That
what's the point? I suppose you can earn a few quid if you don't get a tour card, but why on earth are players who are finishing 8th and above in that, 6 of them having to go to a lottery knockout?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that the challenge tour needs to be used better.
Yeah, a lot better as well. There's too many random cards go out there, and the proof is how long that these ones that you look at and go, "Cool, you've had a nice draw there, son."
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not good dart players or they're not good enough. They might not be ready. But
correct.
Connor Scott being a first example. The first time round he got his card, I said to his manager, "Tell him not to take it." And he went, No. I said, "You ain't ready, mate.
Yeah.
You ain't ready. Ain't nowhere near ready. You need to be dominating that challenge tour to have any kind of..."
Yeah.
There will be anomalies, of course. It's not, one size doesn't fit all, but I think you have a good few years on that challenge tour, and then get up as top up, just so you can dip your toes in the top world of the sport, and then see how you go from there. But ironically, he got it, had a good couple of years off the tour, went back and got his card.
Yeah.
Built up loads of experience down at the Super Series, playing it, everything he could play in. And look at him now, I think he's flying.
Well, off of that, do you think, one, the fact that Bo got to dip her toe in the Pro Tour last year will help this year?
Yeah, huge. But watching her up close down at the qualifiers for the World Masters, like literally I'd done a few of her games. She was actually on our first board that I did, so I did all 3 matches of that group. Wow. She's gonna ruffle some feathers this year, mate. I'm telling you.
Does she win a tournament?
Well,
I'm not saying it has to be a team, but does she win a PDC tournament in the Open division this year?
Yeah, I think so. Certainly, I would put her amongst the players that have done it the last couple of years that have only ever won one.
Yeah.
Do you know the players I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And you crop up, you have a tournament where all the other lads go, "I'm not travelling there and getting 3 trains, planes and automobiles. Not a chance, I'm not going." And you sort of, although she beat, you can say about eliminating Littler, she beat Littler in the World Youth over a sensible sample size as well. So if she can play like that and beat Littler, I think she's got every chance of picking up a Pro Tour. I think first and foremost, Players' Championship finals. She's going to be in the Worlds because of the Women's Series, and she's more than likely will go into the Women's World Match Players' favour. So she'll be in the World. She'll be in the Slam, in the Players' Championship finals. year 2 will be super exciting because she will be up to speed. And
Yeah.
as we often see with super talented players, and she falls in that category, they do improve.
Correct, yeah, I get it.
It's very hard to compare the numbers. I did a real big sample size of Women's Series Challenge Tour, Pro Tour.
She gets better the better players she's playing. And so
Yeah,
on.
because you're not having them legs where you're having 6-7 darts missed at a double, which drags both your averages down. Your average does become inflated, but yeah, I'm super excited. Lovely girl, beautiful action when she's on it. I think she's going to do all right. I think it'd be easy to go, oh, she's done this and she's done that. It's a different environment. It's going to be tough for her. She's gonna be the only girl there, and
yeah.
But she's universally liked and appreciated by all the players, so she'll fit in beautifully.
Premier League starts obviously this week. Calling it now, who makes the top 4 if you had to pick it? If you think across the 17 weeks, who goes to the O2?
Luke, Van Veen, Price.
Interesting.
Who have you gone for?
Luke and Luke.
Yeah.
Garen Price.
Yeah. MVG?
Yes, but I also got Johnny. Johnny's never not made the playoffs.
I was asked this question this morning. I picked out the 3.
Yeah.
And then I said one of those. Listen, Johnny loves the Premier League, doesn't he? A former winner.
He always gets to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Always.
Yes, that's right. Actually, yeah. So yeah, I've liked what I've seen in the last 12 months from. The format plays into the hands of Johnny because he seems to be on the bigger bang. Some of the other players don't quite get going, but because of this format, if they do get away with one early, then who knows? They can get on a bit of a roll and a bit of a run. But I think Johnny has to hit them early and get them out early.
You concerned for Stephen Bunting at the moment because.
Well, there was a step. Well, of course, we were just going to talk about Danny Noppert in the Masters, who it was apparently out of them 2 for the final spot. Absolutely gubbed him.
Well, it's the reaction he's getting in arenas at the moment. He's not.
And there was some machismo in that as well, man. Yeah. Like, Danny was aware. He was like, "You stole my spot, son."
Yeah.
I mean, they tried to play it down. I was like, "No way, I'm not having it."
That was he meant it.
He did mean it. And listen, outside of the one in Saudi, where he just
he wasn't well either.
He wasn't. He was exactly. He was sick. He's found another level to his game, mate.
I agree.
And in defeat, what could he have done? What can you do sometimes? Sometimes it just don't happen, and they don't miss, and you just got to go hands up. But he's done it to players himself. They all do it to each other at certain points. But we have this recency bias thing. But yeah, I think Bunty's under it.
Learning curve for Josh Rock on year 1 in the Premier League.
He's another one that it looks like he's played too much darts towards the back end. He just looks a bit frazzled, a bit burnt to me. He was not good at the Masters, and certainly in the game he lost. But again, it's you got to look at it I look at it as a player, and some players you just play differently. Some players you're not comfortable playing. Some days you just don't feel like it. Some days you walk into that practice room and can't miss. Walk up there and couldn't hit a cow's ass with a banjo. That's sport.
I know Gary was adamant he was never going to take it. Were you surprised they didn't ask the question? Because I checked with Gary and with his management. They were never even asked. Were you surprised the world number 6 wasn't a casual? Are you sure?
I think because he spoke about it for so long.
That's what I mean. But
I think they probably thought there's no point.
Also, they don't want someone to turn it down because no one's ever turned it down.
I suppose. Well, especially if it found its way into the hands of.
Oh, it would have done.
OnlineDarts.com.
It would have. Don't worry.
It would have no longer been a secret. I think it's an element of both. I think
that they don't want someone to say no to.
Yeah, and I mean, I had many a conversation when he was, Mace, I've told you.
Oh.
We both sort of went, come on, Gary. Nope. I'm pretty sure if he wanted to play in it, they would have asked him.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he's legend as well.
And he's playing beautifully at the moment as well.
Yeah.
What did you think of his rant at the Masters?
I don't even know where that come from. I mean, it's like Gogglebox, right? How on earth have people become famous by watching famous people?
Yeah.
I get, it's very much a childish thing, this whole influencer thing, right? Because I don't know anything about it. I don't have TikTok or whatever it's called or all that shit, right? Yeah. So I don't see it. But when I take my little boys to certain places or to the darts, and go, oh, that's so what does he do?
It's a TikToker.
Yeah. And I go, yeah, but what does he do? Well, he talks about darts and plays darts and I'm like, right, and fair play. I mean, you look at that KSI and all that, and Jake Paul, they were
influencers,
right? I wouldn't mind being a couple of 100 million behind them both, right? They have done incredibly well, but is it my bag? Not really. I think you've got to earn your stripes in any walk of life, and I've sort of earned mine as you have earned yours. This is something you've been doing for near on 20 years. And we didn't have. Well, you certainly
no.
You didn't have outlets like we have now.
No.
A lot of your stuff was written.
Yeah. Or just audio only stuff.
Only stuff. So. Well, I remember really to do any kind of stuff like this, I had to come to the studio to do it. Yeah. Because it was all set and really didn't want to move it around. Yeah. Now it's.
Do you remember Creme de la Prem?
Yeah, Creme de la Prem. Yeah, because Nico did a fair bit of stuff as well, didn't he? Great days. But you earn your stripes, don't you? And listen, I don't know where it comes. I think he's quite protective, certainly of Ty, who's now showing a.
He hates it, I think. I might be wrong, but I don't. He didn't want him anywhere near darts.
No, he didn't want him because I said to him, "Is Ty playing?" No, football or tennis, anything, right? And of course, I've known Rachel since she was a kid, and I've known Gary for God knows how long. So I said I was with him on the Saturday, and I said, "How's Ty getting on?" And he was playing then. And he had someone on the phone reading out his scores. He was playing in some ADC thing. And I said, do you absolutely bury him when you play him? He badgers me for a game and he stuffs him. I said, he ain't getting no...
Oh, no, he's proper old school. If he's going to beat me, he
same as what probably most 99% of us had.
Yeah.
You don't get any kind of reward for just playing. And he's brutal with him because I think he wants to put him off, but he's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Was he 11, averaging 75?
Yeah, I know. And he's left-handed.
Yeah. His throw's so nice as well.
I was watching him do something the other day and he hit 3 balls and I'm like, I haven't hit 3 balls this year yet. He's a lovely boy. And he's got a bit about him and all. He's a bit like Gary.
Yeah, that's that.
He said because he storms off having a right tantrum. I said, good lad.
The apple never falls far from the tree.
No, if it don't hurt, it don't matter, mate. Oh. But yeah, he's another player, fascinating up to number 6 in the world. It'd be amazing to see where he goes this year. And his TV form there's something going on there that he can't quite get right at the moment, which, trust me, he will do, because he had phases in his career where he was brilliant on TV.
Awful on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
And then great on the floor.
Yeah.
I think he wins one this year.
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, you wouldn't be surprised, would you? It's like, no, he won't. Why is he going to win one? Because he's fucking good.
Yeah.
And he's hitting numbers that are just too good to be ignored.
Well, it's mad, isn't it? Everyone talks about this young man sport. He rips the rule book up.
Yeah, loads of them do. I tell you why it's a young man's sport, because it's fucking relentless, and you are literally constantly on the road and travelling. And your energy levels are tested all the time. Where if you're young, you're like, this is great. I remember when I couldn't wait to go to new places and play darts. I used to do exhibitions with Bobby George, and you're meant to play sort of like 8 each and then play the odd extra one He's like that. Can you get him off that dartboard? It's 12:15 and he's playing everybody in the club. Because you're keen, you want to play, you want to learn, you want to experience. Now you put me anywhere near a stage of a set of darts and
run.
I'm like, listen, it's a bit like that phrase, if you're good enough, you're old enough.
As Barney checked out, and I say that, I don't think it was a good look. Like, I understand for him, guaranteed money, but missing a qualifier for a ranked TV event to play in an exhibition when, look, he needs ranking money, his ranking is plummeting. Has he checked out?
Possibly, mentally, he may have sort of accepted. But I think, again, it's what you do with your legacy. Surely you want to say goodbye properly. The last goodbye wasn't really goodbye. Missing a tournament of this magnitude when you're not far off being in the match play.
10 grand at the moment, which a good run here. But
quarterfinal.
Yeah, but again, he's got to qualify for Euro Tours, and it's like I just don't see it.
I don't see how he gets in. I mean, he'd be in the Worlds, right?
Well, will he?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked.
What do you think? The ranking resets for the Worlds.
Oh yeah, shit does, yeah.
So he's got to earn money on the Pro Tour.
Yeah, we may not see him in anything. I mean, does he come through a Euro Tour qualifier?
No, he might
host. No, he can't.
He might do what? He might get through a couple, but does he get to this 15?
Does he get the Players' Championship finals?
Right now, you'd say no.
Not in the Slam, is he?
Not in the Slam. He's literally, at the moment, it's only the UK Open.
Oh yeah, of course, because everybody gets in it. Wow. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't. Listen, if I'd won as many world titles as him and everything else he's won in between it, I wouldn't be going to an exhibition when there's a major TV tournament on the horizon that I could qualify for. In some cases, he might have only had to won 3 games.
Yeah.
Depending on the draw.
Yeah, if he wasn't in
Well, yeah, he wouldn't have been in. Yeah.
Yeah.
3 games tops. 64, 32.
16-8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just... Not unless he got paid an absolute chunk of dough. Was it a gala or anything?
I don't know. He just said it was decent money.
Yeah, well, and then... Don't expect the PDC to invite you to a World Series event, pal. And this is how they work, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all about loyalty and backward and forward. Don't bite the hand that feeds. So yeah, I mean they will put him in, but certainly if you're turning down big opportunities in terms of qualifying for tournaments and just tossing them off for an exhibition, I don't think that'll sit well with Matt Porter, that's for sure.
Mate, we're an hour and 20 minutes in, so
standard stuff.
Standard stuff. It's a pleasure as always catching up with you here at the
Thanks
wonderful.
Thanks for coming, mate. Always good to see you.
The new studio will be done soon, so I'll have to get you to come down and we'll do a proper sit down in the new studio.
A bit of an excuse. I am going to go back and do some Moda stuff this year. I'm trying to find a window, but I'm definitely speaking to Murph over the next couple of weeks, and we're going to try and have a bit of a reunion down there and get me back in the comms box. I've not been down
2 years?
Getting on.
Yeah.
But of course, this place is just taking up most of my time.
Come into the studio and we'll do a proper sit down.
For sure. A green chair job, Adi Aladipo style.
Yeah.
Well done, mate.
Pleasure, guys. To change your